special and she reckless. Baby, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it. And everything is alright. I like how you doing alright, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, oh yeah. Like how you do it alright. Everything good, alright, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, alright, oh yeah. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love, best friend, and big family. I'm the storm in your dream, making wet dreams come true. She know she bad, but I done bad. She a gunshot that blew my mind. No distance, I come by my side. Everything is green over here. Everything you want and think about. Now I got your back all the way. And everything is alright. I like how you doing alright, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, oh yeah. Like how you do it alright. Everything good, alright, alright. Like how you think alright. Always on top, alright, oh yeah. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love, best friend, and big family. Me and you, we can be something we want to. When I see the dream we're chasing true, and don't care for me, yeah. Luckily we're free to be first class, riding casually, yeah. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love, best friend, and big family. I wanna know it tonight. I wanna be the one to surprise you. Wake you up in the morning. I wanna be the one that you calling. Cause I see you in the future with me. I wanna meet you. Love, best friend, and big family.
Hey guys, hey, what's up? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? We are live again. It is another Livestream Monday. Let me just fix my screen here a little bit. I don't want to be cutting off my head too much. How are you guys doing today? This has been a while now because last week was a crazy week. I wasn't able to come online. I know I said I was going to come on Wednesday after missing it on Monday. But it was just a crazy week. I was working. For those of you that haven't seen any of my podcasts or any of my vlogs lately, I actually landed a opportunity to work with Roots again for a campaign that was coming out. Actually, it just launched last night with The Weeknd. Weeknd was celebrating House of Balloons, which is his first mixtape. So shout out to the whole team, the EXO team, and The Weeknd. Congratulations on 10 years. So he in conjunction with an amazing artist, his name eludes me right now. I believe it's Daniel something, but they came together and they actually created a jacket, which Roots actually manufactured. And then, Roots wanted me to kind of capture the jacket and capture the process and capture the quality and capture all that cool stuff. So it was just a crazy week. It was like, you get the call, you say, okay, when you're available, you shoot, you have to have it edited and ready for the weekend. And it was just like, pardon the pun, it was just like all hands on deck. So kudos to the whole team. The rollout was really good. You should be seeing the video shortly. I can't show it yet because it hasn't been released by the client. And one of the things actually I would share with you is that, when you are doing clients or when you are doing client work, and even if it's a small client, it's not a known client, it's really important to not to jump the gun. I've jumped the gun a couple times in my career, and it doesn't always go off well. Like, I mean, most clients are cool, especially if the creative is excited about sharing the project. But it's always better to allow the client to share the project first, and then you share the project. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comments section. I would love to know that. Obviously, tonight is my Livestream Mondays, and you are watching it on my YouTube channel. My name is Tristan Barracks. I am the digital storyteller, but I also am building the digital storytelling community, and I'm so glad that you have chosen to join me for a little bit. We are going to be talking about feedback, how to give feedback, how to take feedback, how to administer feedback, how to even build relationships with people that will give good or provide good feedback to you. Now, that being said, I wanted to check in on you guys first. Like, how are you guys doing? You know, type in the comment section. First of all, if you have any questions, how you're feeling, where you're from, what are some of the challenges that you're encountering as a storyteller, as a digital creator, a content creator. I really want to take this time to give it back to the community. I want to answer any of your questions. I want to be able to just have a cool time, have some fun. I'm feeling really good about this week. I think there are a lot of great things that are going to happen this week. But beyond that, there are just a lot of great things happening in my life. If you're not aware, I also released a new digital product. So big up to the digital products. That digital product is actually called it's called Brown Skin LUTs. And what the Brown Skin LUTs are a series or a collection of LUTs, which is short for lookup tables, that allow creatives to actually not just embellish, but get better skin tones for people of color. So for Black people, and many people have reached out to me and just told me how much they appreciate me creating a product like this. And I want to create more products and get the product even better and better and better. But this is sort of the first standard collection. I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a developer in terms of this scope. But I felt like, you know what, this was the time to be able to share some of the filters I use on a day-to-day basis on my projects, because again, there's nothing better than creating a custom LUT or custom filters that speak to, you know, your needs. And as a Black creative, as a digital creator, one of the frustrating parts is that there are tons of products out there. There are tons of LUTs, but they're never really geared towards people of color or people with darker or brown skin tones. So I'm really excited about that. You can definitely check that out. There should be a link either in the description area, or you can check out the link elsewhere, actually, in one of my other videos, or you can just type up Brown Skin LUTs and you'll find it, and the link will be there to the store if you want to check it out and check out some of the other products that we have. Obviously, we have hoodies as well, so we got like story over everything hoodies. You can't see that here, but and we have the digital storyteller hoodies. So yeah, we got a lot of things going on, and I say we because I am slowly but surely growing my team. I have a few part-timers that are a part of the team, which is really exciting. It's really an exciting time for my company because, again, we're at a place where we're just growing. We're growing quite a bit. And so if you are looking for opportunities, or if you're looking to get connected with a company that's growing, we're looking for all types of people, looking for production people, pre-production people, and producers, as well as post-production, photo, video, editors. So definitely hit me up, and then we can talk a little bit more about that. But without any further ado, let's talk a little bit about feedback. Type in the comment section, and let me know what you think. What are your thoughts about feedback? Let me check some of the comments here, just because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. What are your thoughts about feedback? Is feedback good? Is feedback bad? Is feedback something that is, you know, is really important as a creative? Is feedback something that is overrated? What are your thoughts around feedback? Because I find that oftentimes as creatives, we love the praise that comes with some feedback, but we don't necessarily love the critiquing and the actual process of being able to have an exchange, a feedback exchange. And I'll talk more about that once we get settled in. But I wanted to just touch base with you guys. I want to ask the questions. What do you guys think about feedback? Type in the section, I think feedback is good, or I think feedback is bad. I want to know, because I think that I really want to kind of get a good sense of what really makes you tick. What really makes you feel like, you know what? I can take this. I really like when people critique this part of my work, or I feel like, you know, I feel very self-conscious when people critique or point out things that I did wrong, because really and truthfully, if feedback is done well, it should build you up. That's one thing I will say. If feedback is done well, it should build you up. The first thing I want you to think about when we're talking about feedback is that feedback without relationship, it equals just criticism. Okay? Feedback without relationship equals criticism. Not constructive criticism. It's just criticism. It equals noise. It equals, you know, almost like nails on a chalkboard grading. And the reason why I say that is because I think the most effective feedback that I've ever received in my life has always come from people that have a sense of empathy, curiosity, and most importantly, a sense of positive intent. Now, when I'm talking about empathy and positive intent and things of that nature, it speaks to the disposition of that person's attitude towards wanting to build me up or somebody else up versus just wanting to tell me what's wrong. Because there's many people, especially within, you know, the social media world, that it's like they're hungry and thirsty to just tell people, this is what's wrong with your work. This is what's wrong with you. This is why you're not successful. This is why I'm better than you. This is why you'll never amount to anything. This is why, you know, you need to buy a new camera. This is why you're not making that money. And that's all well and good. That's cool. Fine. They'll be over there because there's always going to be critics. But I think that the most effective and the most, in my opinion, the most life-changing for me were the critiques or the feedback that came from people that I love, I respected, or I had a relationship with. And a relationship doesn't have to be deep. It doesn't have to be like close relationship, but it has to be someone that you either respect or respect their work. So when I talk about respect, you're respecting their voice in your life, right? It's somebody that you trust. You trust them because you know that they want you to be successful, right? So when we're talking about feedback and effective feedback, you want to find people that, first of all, have positive intent, that secondly, that have your best interest at heart. I want Tristan to succeed. Therefore, I want to give him this feedback so he can become a better version of who he is already, which is already great. But we want to improve that. You know, I want him to be a better editor, a director, or manager, or leader, or whatever, right? So when we're looking at people that we want to build relationships with in terms of building that feedback ecosystem, we want to make sure that they're empathetic. We want to make sure that they have our best intentions at heart. And we want to make sure that they're truthful and they're honest. You know, how many people do we work with or maybe we know that are really nice people? They want us to win, but they're not always honest with us. And that's not really good either. I don't want you to just say, yo, that's so dope every single time when I put out trash. You see what I'm saying? Whether I put out amazing work or whether I put out trashy work, it's always like, yo, that's dope. No, it's not dope. Maybe it's not dope. Maybe it's not my best work. Maybe I could do better. Maybe I could tweak something here or there, right? But I would prefer a person that really has my best interest at heart to give me the feedback that not just the feedback I want to hear, but the feedback I need to hear. And that comes through a relationship. It does. Right? Let me ask you, if you had a choice between a complete stranger giving you feedback and a person that you know giving you feedback, that you know, love, trust, maybe you don't love them, but you trust them, you respect their view on the world, this person that you know, their feedback versus a complete stranger? What would you choose? Would you choose a complete stranger? Would you value their voice and their logic and their perspective over the person that knows you, or would you pick the person that knows you? You may respect their perspective a little bit more. They may be an industry professional or veteran. Who would you choose? Type in the comment section. Let me know. I'd love to know what your thoughts on that are on that. Now, the other thing, and I'll get back to that question after, but the other thing I want to speak to is the idea of feedback is not just forced fed to us. Feedback is conversational, right? Feedback is not one dimensional. Feedback is back and forth, right? So when I give feedback to somebody, I'm giving feedback from the vantage point of learning more about what their choices were creatively, learning more about who they are, learning more about their intentions. Then I'm giving feedback, and then I'm giving the space or creating the space for them to give me feedback or to respond back to that feedback. I'm not just dumping and downloading feedback on them and then walking away, right? There's a responsibility that comes with giving feedback and with sharing, critiquing, and things of that nature. Let's see some of your comments here. We have Poo Poo in the cereal says, scars heal, make you stronger. Okay, I get that. Yeah, scars heal and they make you stronger. They do. They do heal, but they stay there and they're marked. They are marked there. You know, Pavel says strangers, obviously. he says strangers, obviously. So again, I mean, there was one perspective, which is like, you know, when people give you feedback, it creates a little bit of scars, but you know what? It makes you stronger. It heals you up and makes you stronger. Absolutely. I think some of the best moments in my life were some of the moments that felt the worst. And what I mean by that is like the times that I got fired, the times that I didn't win those competitions, or I didn't make the cut, or I didn't get into the film festivals. I learned so much more about failure or from failure than I did when people just say, yo, you're dope. I mean, I get it. I like that stroking of the ego. Who doesn't? But I think there's something that we can really dissect when people say, you know what, you're not good enough. I don't think you're a great storyteller. You're not really a director. You should never pick up a camera again. I don't think you're ever going to make it in this industry. People have said that to me, and that feedback, you know, that negative feedback at the time, I used as fuel to propel me into the career and into the pathways and into the place that I am now. Now, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely not where I was. And that's the most important thing. Now, again, that feedback can come from perfect strangers, pardon the pun, or it can come from people that you trust, you admire, and you respect, right? Sorry about that. That's just my mom trying to FaceTime me. So that being said, one of the things I wanted to stress is that, again, feedback is what we call a conversation. Feedback is a conversation. Feedback is not just one-sided. It's not just me talking to you and you having to deal with it, right? Feedback is also relational, right? The best type of feedback, in my opinion, are the ones coming from people that we have a relationship with. Number 3, feedback is for people that are mature. I have to. And the reason why I have to do that is because when we're talking about maturity and we're talking about feedback, I should say, maturity has to be a key factor in that. Because if you're not mature, you're going to automatically think everybody's attacking you. Everybody's just trying to tear you down. Everybody doesn't like your work. Everybody's just being negative and nobody wants to support you. And that's not the intention of feedback. The intention of feedback is to build, right? The intention of feedback is to make you stronger and make you better and make you a better writer or a better filmer, or a better editor or a better storyteller or a better communicator, right? So again, when we're asking about feedback, are we actually asking for feedback because we want truth, or do we want an ego stroke? And if we want truth, are we ready? Are we really ready for the truth of the matter? Are we really ready for people to say, you know what, that's not your best work? I have friends that will say to me, you know, Tristan, that's not your best work. and it stings, it pinches. It's like, damn. It's like I want to say,
Oh my God.
you know what I mean? Or,
Oh hell no.
you know what I mean? I want to say that. I want to say that. In the moment, I feel that. I feel that angst, and I feel like, but you don't even understand what I'm trying to do, and you don't understand it. But then when I take a step back, and I think about it, and I digest, and I actually look at the project, and I say, you know what? Compare this to my best work. Then I'm like, you know what? This is not my best work. So how can I, you know, re-engineer this? How can I fix this? How can I elevate what I have? Because I know I have the ability to elevate it, but maybe I needed that push from that feedback that I got from a friend or a colleague or a stranger. And now that was the push I needed to elevate the project. But if I'm not mature, I won't look at that as a push. I'll look at that as a put down, or I'll look at that as a deterrent. So again, when we're looking at feedback, we have to look at feedback from the standpoint of, are we mature enough? Are we mature enough? Let me know if this is making sense. I really want this to make sense. I really want everybody to understand, you know, where we're coming from. I'm just jumping on to see what the comments are in the comment section. If you do have any comments, I would love to hear them. Let me just check this out here. Perfect. So now that we have that, by the way, if you're watching this, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. That always helps out. Big yourself up. Now, let's talk about the fourth element of feedback, and something that I don't think that we discuss enough, but is key, is vital in order to give feedback. And this is vital to give feedback, whether you know the person, whether you don't know the person, whether you're friends with the person, whether you're enemies with the person. You always have to ask for permission to give feedback. You cannot just, I think your I think your work is blah, 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 blah. Imagine if somebody walks up to you and says, I don't really like your haircut, and those skinny jeans, not so much. How would you respond to that? If somebody just came to you and just blurted out the things they didn't like about you, or the things that you know they felt like you need to improve in, you probably wouldn't receive it that well, right? So in the vital thing about asking for permission is it gives you the opportunity, or gives that person the opportunity to say, you know what, am I ready to get feedback from this person? It gives them back control. Because if you just blurt out, I think your work sucks, and what you're doing is you're taking control away from that person, and you're not giving them the opportunity to prepare themselves for that feedback. So again, when we're talking about feedback, and we're talking about all of these different elements of feedback, the asking for permission is super, super critical, and something that I think you should definitely consider. Now, there's another point that I want to speak about with regards to when I used to work at Apple. There was this idea that Apple designed, or kind of, I guess they branded. It was called fearless feedback. And the idea of fearless feedback was, if you saw somebody doing something that was unbecoming of the brand or of themselves, or maybe you just wanted to like let them know like that's not cool. Again, you didn't just go to them and say that's not cool. You created a time and a place to reach out to them. You say, hey, you know, Brad, I saw that you did, you know, I was just wondering if we could have some, you know, if I could give you some feedback, or some fearless feedback, you know, maybe at our break or whatever else. And then that person would be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, like, is everything cool? And they'd be like, you'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Just want to talk to you about a few things. You wait for that time. And then that's the opportunity where you create the space to give fearless feedback. Feedback needs to be fearless again. We need to stop being so scared of being able to give real, honest, truthful feedback. I think the reason why we are in the state that we're in, creative spaces, on social, on YouTube, on so many different places and platforms, in terms of the quality of content sometimes being degraded, is because there's nobody actually giving around those people, being honest and giving real, honest feedback, and providing a space for people to feel safe enough to be like, you know what, yeah, I know that's not my best work, and thank you for the feedback, or, you know, I'm going to open up myself for correction and for feedback. So again, the next time that you create something, you create a film, you create a video, you post something in a group or whatever else, be mindful of who's speaking to you or speaking at you or talking about your work. Be mindful and be intentional about protecting your emotions, your mental stability, as well as your intentionality behind your work. Because again, a lot of people will say a lot of niceties, and a lot of people will try and act very sly in terms of giving you feedback. But you got to also look at who's grading their paper. And you also have to look at that they don't really have the whole context to what you're creating. All of that matters in feedback. All of that matters in creating a dialogue, a positive dialogue that's going to be beneficial for you and for that person. So that being said, I am open to any other critiques or questions that you may have. I'm here for the next couple of minutes. I'd love to answer any questions that you have, any editing questions, any storytelling questions, anything that you want to talk about. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for the community. Let's talk about any questions. Let me see if you have any questions down below here in the questions section. I'll actually type in here. Let me know your questions. Yeah. How's your week been? What's going on? What projects are you working on? Let me know what your questions are. Let me know what I can help you out with. I'm working on a Final Cut series, wondering if you guys have any questions about Final Cut or even questions around in and around shorts. Shorts is actually a big thing that's happening on YouTube, which is, I don't know if you know about shorts, but shorts are basically videos that are 30 seconds or less, or really 29 seconds or less, and they're either in square or vertical format, kind of stories for YouTube, and YouTube is really pushing those. So I'm thinking of doing some videos that will be beneficial for the community so that you guys can learn how to create those videos really, really quickly in YouTube or in what is it called now? Final Cut. Do you like to do a client's work? Can you elaborate on that in terms of liking to do client's work? I just want to know what you mean by that. Oh, there you go. And then this is more. Okay, perfect. Or do you prefer to do your own projects and get money from it, plus digital products, merch, etc.? Oh, okay, cool. Great question. I like doing client work, actually. I really like doing client work. I think that doing client work is really suggestive, right? So like, I like doing some client work. So for instance, like I like doing documentary stuff. I like doing brand stories. I like being able to do spec ad campaigns and that sort of stuff, that the cooler sort of social media stuff. I like that space. But you know, when it comes to kind of like what I call whitelist clients or whitelist projects, so projects that you get paid a high amount of money for, but they're really boring jobs. Like, so for instance, a few months back, I did a really large job that was what was it? It was for a client. It was like safety videos, and it was a great budget. The budget was amazing, guys. Like, it was really, really cool. And I got it through building relationship with one of their program coordinators, and then they had this opportunity, they got some funding, and then they hired myself and my team to do this massive amount of work, and we got paid really well. Well, the work itself was really boring. The work itself wasn't anything glamorous. It's not something I'm going to put on my website at all. But it not only paid the bills, it was it was one of my largest contracts I've ever landed. So again, it's a real mixture of like, yeah, sometimes you may not like the client work, but that client work, those bags are steady and heavy. Now, what I would say is that and you probably noticed this too, many people notice this, and some people don't like it, some people do like it, but I think that if you're a digital creator and you're on YouTube, and you're not monetizing and providing digital products or merchandise products or different physical products that people can purchase from you, then you're missing out on a giant opportunity. You know, I can tell you full transparency, like I have, you know, just over 4,100 subscribers on my channel, and I maybe make 150 to 200 bucks per month off of AdSense, right? So it's not a ton of money. Like it's cool. It'll help me to kind of, you know, sponsor certain videos or whatever else, like, you know, buy a few small things for the channel. But like where the real revenue will come is like if people buy hoodies or if people buy digital products like my LUTs or other things like that. And the reality is that, you know, I look at it like it's an opportunity. Like if you're following a Peter McKinnon, or you're following a Maddie, or you're following, you know, a IG, or I forgot what his name is, IC Imaging or something, but there's tons of different amazing creators out there, or the DV cinematographer. I forgot what his name is. I think his name is Caleb. But there's so many YouTubers that are doing so many great things. And if you admire them and you like the work that they're creating, and they're creating courses or they're creating products that'll make your life easier, then I say, why not support them? I say, why not, you know, spend money and invest in the actual creative? Because, you know, we spend so much money on Canon and on Sony and on Reds and on Rode and on this and on that. And these companies, it's not that they don't care about us, but at the end of the day, essentially they don't care. They're about sales, right? These creatives, these grassroots creatives are actually creating stuff for the community. Yes, they're creating stuff because they want to make a steady stream of income, but they're also trying to create products and services for the community because they actually believe in the community and the people that they're serving. So yeah, I do like creating my own products. Obviously there's more potential revenue you can get out of that than waiting for AdSense, but I also really do like working with clients as well. Any other questions about that? Any other questions? I love these questions. Big up yourself. I have a friend, when I do this, they go like this. They have these shoulders and they start dancing like this. I don't know if this is like Syrian dancing but it's like the shoulders, like But what do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk a little bit about Final Cut? Do you guys want to talk about a little bit about audio equipment? You know, I got monitors here. I got lenses. We can talk about anything you like. You know, it's all about you guys tonight. I really, really want to share some stuff. I'm glad that you guys like the dances there. Let me see the other question here. What is your strategy to avoid unwanted clients? Higher price. Thanks for answering questions. Perfect. I love that. Big up yourself. So the question is, what is your strategy? What is my strategy for getting better quality clients or deterring clients that are low value, what we consider low value? What do we mean by that, right? Or what do you mean by that, Tristan? Low value. Clients that don't respect your work, don't know your value or value your time or the quality of what you put in, the energy that you put into your projects and your work and all that sort of stuff. Clients that have low budgets, that just have simply low budgets, and they do not want to spend over a certain threshold because they don't think it's worth it. It goes back to value, but also low budget. Clients that don't represent the brand that you're trying to build. So you're trying to build an architecture brand, architectural marketing brand, and then there's people that are like want to, work with you, and they want to make music videos, like hip hop videos, booty shaking videos, and that's not your clientele. That's not your target audience. You know what I mean? That's not who you want to build your brand around. That's great. That's cool. So the first thing I would do is I would first create a client persona. If you have not created a client persona, it's the most important thing that you could do as a business owner, because a client persona will allow you to shape the narrative of how you market and to whom you market. So when we talk about a client profile, what we're talking about like getting a piece of paper, writing down, right, on a piece of paper, who my client is. Their name is, Jared, and they live in, Orangeville, and they put a big value on premium services, and they want the white glove type of service, and they don't mind waiting a little bit longer for quality. They understand about paying for quality. Certain things, they shop here, they eat this, they think about that, they graduated from this school, they have this type of job, they drive this type of car. It's a whole persona. They have this many amount of kids, and they love their spouse, and they've been with their spouse for X amount of years. You create this whole persona, and welcome to those that are here for the first time. My name is Tristan Barracks. I am the digital storyteller, and we're talking about all things digital storytelling. I am open to answering any questions that you have, so please type it in the chat, and I will answer it live right now during Livestream Mondays. So you create that profile. You have the profile now. So based on that profile, you then will start looking at, okay, well, if I want to attract this high value client, then what I need to do is I need to make sure that I have great branding, and my branding needs to look like Rolls Royce or Bentley, or it needs to look like Apple, or my videos and my ads need to give that emotional appeal like Oprah or whatever it is, right? Or Spellman's or whatever it is, right? You start crafting your marketing, you start crafting your branding, you start crafting the whole idea of your brand. And funny thing is, I was talking to a friend of mine where they sent me via text, like literally visualizing your brand and understanding your brand, because it'll help you in terms of finding the right client. Once you do that, the next biggest thing that people miss out on all the time, and I talked about this in my last vlog, was the power of creating spec ads. What are spec ads, Tristan? Those are fake ad campaigns that you create with your team for the sole purpose of projecting out projects that you actually want to you want to acquire. So if I want to get a contract from a multi-million-dollar architectural firm, and I want to create all their videos for all of their projects, well, I have to create a spec ad campaign that would look like something they would want. And maybe I don't get paid for that one. I just created it, a fake client, a fake project, but I'm creating that, and then I'm projecting it out and I'm pushing it out to them. And now I'm marketing my services and what I can produce, because I have something now that I can show that potential client. And now they don't have to imagine whether or not I can do the work, because I'm only showing them, music videos and weddings. They can actually see an actual campaign that I've created of realistic types of ads that they would want. And that's how you start acquiring your type of client that you want, your A type of client, or your AAA client, or your high value client. Now, the other thing is, the other part of the equation to deter some of the clients you don't want, you have to make sure that your language is very on point. So for instance, making sure that you reiterate to people that you have a process, that you slow down the process. Many low value clients are very eager to just get started. They're not eager to run through getting clarity on what the project's about. They're not very eager in terms of giving you clarity on budget, giving you, understanding your process. They just want to book you. They just want to shoot. They just want to go. So when you slow down the process, you become less attractive to them, because now they have to slow down their process and conform to your flow, because your flow is the way you run your business. You don't let somebody else come in and tell you how to run your business, just like you wouldn't allow somebody else to come in and tell you how much you should price your services for. So now when you have a process in place and you slow down the conversation and you really show people the intentionality behind it and the value in terms of what you bring to the table, they're either going to step up and sign up, or they're not. And if they don't, good riddance. Do, 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 do. Like, gone. It's all good. One less headache that you have to deal with. And that actually frees up a lot more time for you to receive the clients that you're supposed to get. Here's a great point, and then I'll go to the next question. Some of the best opportunities that came to me were opportunities that came to me after, listen to me, after I said no to a bad opportunity. an opportunity that I felt wasn't high value, was going to take more time than give time to me. So the moment I said no to those opportunities, and the opportunities that really weren't opportunities, there were more liabilities for me and my business and my team, it actually allowed me and gave me space to say yes to better, bigger, and more high value opportunities and jobs. So again, I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. Let me know your questions, guys. I'm here to answer any questions. I see that there's 5 people on the live. I'm digging it. Big yourself up. Hey, big yourself up. I would love to answer some more questions. I am here for you. Let me tell us about your streaming set. What software do you use? How do you connect the mic? And do you have some delay to deal with video versus audio? Thanks and sorry for so many questions. Never sorry. Never sorry. Let me tell you something. Big yourself up. You're dope. You're dope, man. No, honestly, I appreciate the questions. These are great questions. So let me actually bring this back up and I'll answer each question one by one. So my setup, my live stream setup. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? My live stream setup is I have the Rodecaster Pro. Okay, so that gives me 4 channels of audio inputs. Actually, more than 4 channels. It gives you about 6 channels of audio inputs. Then what I plugged into it, the mic that I have plugged into it is the Rode mic. So this is like the Rode mic, and then they have the Rode mic Pro. The Rode mic is about $140. The Rode mic Pro is like $280 or something like that. It's a little bit better, a little bit more robust, but this one's pretty good as well. And then I also have this plugged in via USB-C to USB-A, I believe, into a laptop. Now that laptop obviously has an interface, like a what is it called now? A Thunderbolt interface. So basically it gives me everything. It gives me USB plugs. It gives me Thunderbolt inputs. It gives me audio inputs. It gives me card inputs, all that sort of stuff. And that plugs in through one cable into my MacBook Pro. My MacBook Pro, coincidentally, and maybe one of you guys can answer this question for me, because this is something that's really bothering me. Initially, when I started doing Livestream Mondays this year, I started on my Mac Pro, thinking my Mac Pro is, a behemoth. It's amazing. And my live streams were actually more jittery and more delayed. And I was having more problems with my Livestream Mondays on my Mac Pro Tower than I was on my laptop, my MacBook Pro, a laptop, 16-inch laptop. So I don't know why that is, but just a heads up, like, you're probably better off running all your live streams on your laptop, because it'll work a lot better. It'll be a lot more smoother. The other thing I want to let you know about is the software. So the software I'm using is called Ecamm Live. So it'll allow me to do things like I can fade to, well, let me add. I'm just gonna add a picture. I'm just gonna drag and drop it right in there. So I just added in a picture really quick of course WandaVision. You can just drag and drop pictures in there. You can also drag and drop videos right in. Okay, right? So I have that there. That's perfect. I'll put back my band right there, right? So I can switch from video to photos to different guests. It actually gives me, if I wanted to, I'll show you this just so you guys can get a better idea. So does anybody want to come on the show? Is anybody dressed appropriately to come on the show? If you want to come on the show, you can come on the show. I will set up or put in a guest link, and you guys can actually join me and ask me and have a conversation with me right now. Who wants to come on and have a conversation with me right now? Let's do it. I have the guest window. I'm going to open up the guest window, and I will give you, let me go to add a guest, show interview window. Perfect. I have the interview window, and my interview window is on. Anybody want to come on? I will copy and paste the interview invitation into the live, and you guys can jump in, and I'll show you how on Ecamm Live, how we can actually have people jumping in and out and having interviews with each other. It's actually really, really cool. And it's super easy to do. It's just like literally you send out the link to whoever your guest is, and then they can jump on. Are you guys scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Like, don't be scared. Just come on. If you want to come on really quickly, you can do it on your phone, or you can do it on your, or you can do it on your computer. But basically, when the person comes in as a guest, you can actually add them as a guest, and then they show up in the window here, and you can have a conversation really, really quickly. And if you want to take them out, you can just take them out, and then you're back to your one shot here. It's okay. It should work on a PC. It's just a call in. It's all good. If you wanna jump on and have a conversation or ask me more questions, you can literally just take that link and copy and paste it in, and we can have a conversation. I am all ears. Let's have this conversation. If you have questions about storytelling, if you have questions about YouTube, about Instagram, about LinkedIn, about TikTok, let me know. I am here for it. I do want to show you guys a video that I made, a short video that I actually put on Instagram, and I'm putting it on YouTube as well. So if you give me a sec, I'll share that with you. Again, for those, let me just reset the stream again. For those that are just jumping on, my name is Tristan Barracks. I am the digital storyteller, and I do a segment, a live stream segment called Livestream Mondays, where I answer your questions for the community, by the community, and it's there to build the community. So let me jump. I want to show you this video because I really like this video actually. Instagram. Let me see if it'll let me go on to Instagram here, and then I'll share my screen with you guys so you can all see the fabulousness. But yeah, I'm really liking and digging these sort of short videos, everybody, because the short videos I find go a longer way. So this is a video here. I'm gonna jump right into this right here. This is a video on my Instagram, and I'll play this for you, and I'll shut up as well. Oh, too talented and too amazing and too phenomenal not to get off your own ass and get out your own way and do what's in your head to do. You're a dreamer. It's time to execute. Just do the damn thing. Let's go. All right, so look, I'm just gonna say it. You are too dope and too talented and too amazing and too phenomenal not to get off your own ass and get out your own way and do what's in your head to do. You're a dreamer. It's time to execute. So yeah, so there's that one, and then I did one a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. That was like this. Honestly, I'm gonna say this once. And you know what? I hope this goes viral. There are enough opportunities. There's enough money. There's enough of the bag. There are enough clients, enough businesses, enough ideas, enough opportunities to thrive and live and be successful. That you don't have to be watching the next man. Stop watching what other people are doing and do what you were called to do now. I don't know how else to say it. That's it. Just do it. Just be it and stay focused. Peace. Honestly. So yeah, let me just jump back here. Oh, I didn't know that Livestream Monday thing was there. Oh well, I hope you could see it. Yeah, so those videos are really getting a lot of traction. I want to do a video all about how to create those videos, but also if you have questions about like where did I get those graphics, or where did I get the sound effects, or how to create those videos, I'm right here. I'd love to answer any questions you have with regards to that, because again, those videos are very short. They're only between about 20 to 29, 30 seconds long, but they're really impactful. And I find that they're impactful because people can consume them really, really quickly. And then they're also stimulating because there's things moving like every couple frames. And I did that instinctually so that people will watch the video once, be intrigued, and then have to watch it again and watch it again and watch it again. And it's a tactic to make sure that, you know, people come back because they want to see all the little things that I kind of placed within the video, which then allows the video's rotation to go up a lot more, right? So you know, that's something that is really near and dear to my heart. Now, lastly, before we leave, Upbeat. Yes, that's so funny. I was actually going to talk about music, about royalty-free music and stuff like that. Let's talk about that. Give me a second here. Upbeat. Do you like it? Is it free for commercial use? Do you have some license trouble? Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah. So Upbeat. Let's talk about Upbeat. So do you guys want me to show you a demo of it, or do you guys want me to just kind of explain some of these things and how it works? Because I can do both, or I can do one or the other. You can let me know, and we can kind of go from there. Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to talk about it first, and then, you know, I'll jump into it. I'll jump into Upbeat. Let's jump right into Upbeat. I am going to go to and basically you can download any of those songs. You can use it for live streams. You can use those songs and those albums for. You can't hear my voice? Uh-oh. Okay, give me a second here. Give me 1 second here. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure. Audio monitoring. Can you hear my voice now? Just let me know. Okay, cool. I think it was. Yeah, it was off. There we go. Now you can hear me. Perfect. All right, let me switch back over here. So anyways, with Upbeat, the way Upbeat works is you can use all the music for whatever you want, pretty much whatever you want outside of commercial. So paid commercial work. So if it's an ad for McDonald's, you can't use the music. But if it's social media, a social media post for a company that has less than, I believe, 10 employees, then you can use it. So it's very, very particular. It's very specific. If you're using it for marketing purposes and it's not a paid marketing campaign, you can use it, but your company can only be a certain size. If it's larger than that size, then you now lose out on using the free part of the free licensing of this music. You would have to now switch over to Music Vine, which is the parent company of Upbeat. Now, the other thing that you have to keep in mind is that when you are, let's jump back to this right here, okay? And I'm going to do picture in picture, okay? Just because it'll be easier that way. And let me see if I can just get rid of one more layer of things, just so it's easier for everybody to follow. So when we pick a song, right? Let's say I pick this song here. Okay. I click on the song, and then when I go to that song, I now can download it. When I download that song, if I'm using the free version, I have to copy and paste the text of that song and credit it into into my actual video, my video description. So I have to credit into my video description. If I don't, do I have a contact or email? Yeah, you can check my contact and email. It is in my contact me section of my YouTube channel, or you can check out all my work and contact me at tristanbarracks.com. So if you go to tristanbarracks.com, you'll get all that information. And I'd love to talk to you and connect with you. So once you copy this, then you have to go into YouTube. Let me see if I can go to YouTube right now. I'm literally going to go into my YouTube and I'll show you. I'm going to expose my whole account system. I hope you guys don't. I hope there's nothing like super crazy on here. So if I jump into there, I can put and paste in my own stuff. I don't know if I want to go all the way into this because I don't want to necessarily give away too much information, too much sensitive information, but you guys get the drift. Essentially what happens is in the let me go over here again. Where's my window? In the section, the description section of your video, you would paste in the actual credits to the song, and then that video will now be white labeled or white listed. Okay. Now, when it becomes white labeled and white listed, you're good. But if you don't paste in that text and you're using a free account, you're using the free account of Upbeat, then you will no longer, it'll basically give you a strike. So essentially you have to basically paste in, these credits. So I'm going to paste it into the comment section just so you can see. You guys can get a better idea. You have to paste in all of that into the comment section, not into the comment section, but into the description section, and then it'll be fine. You can use the music as much as you want. Now, again, if you have a free version of Upbeat, you only get up to 10 downloads, only 10 downloads. You don't have, you don't get unlimited downloads. So that's something else to think about. And again, you can't use it for commercial purposes. So those are the two things that you really need to understand and be aware of when you are using Upbeat. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Tesla, hey, how you doing, Tesla? Great to see you, man. Really great to see you. Big yourself up. Great to see you. All right. Any other questions? I'm still here. I'm still juiced up. Love to answer any of the questions that you have. Let me check if there's any other questions down in the comment section here. Let me see here. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. So you know what? We can keep it moving for tonight. I do want to say thank you so much to all of my real ones, my diehards. Oh, I got another question. Let's see the question. What picture profile do you use? Okay, that's a great question. So let's talk about that. Oh, and then there's another question here. What picture profile? And I am struggling from more than a year and a half now. Oh, picture profile is great. Picture profile for me, my favorite picture profile is picture profile 7. So actually, let me show you something. I'm gonna show you guys something, and don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Just have mercy on me, okay? So I'm gonna show you. This is I'm gonna zoom like here, okay? Perfect. Kind of center myself a little bit. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to show you how everything looks without any sort of filters on it, because right now I have filters on it through Ecamm Live. So I'm gonna take off the brightness or turn it down. Temperature is gonna go back to 0. Tint to 0. Saturation is gonna be 0. And gamma 0. So this is actually what picture profile 7 looks like. So just to give you an idea, I'm gonna go back to this scene here now. I mean, everything changed, but if I change everything again back to what it was before, warm this up a bit, add in my saturation, added my gamma. So that's what we're looking at in terms of, I'm just changing my tint a little bit and maybe bringing this down a little bit here. That's what it looks like. Not like after I put in some filters and some effects. And if I reset everything, this is how it looks out of the camera. Okay. The reason why that's important is because, again, if you are a person that does a lot of color grading or color correction and things of that nature, you'll love this flat setting. You'll love how this looks. If you're not that type of person, then you may want to bake in your picture profile settings. And that's why there's so many different picture profile settings. There's ones that are like baked in color, baked in contrast, baked in sharpness, everything. That's like the first 1 or 2 picture profiles. And then when you go to 3, 4, 5, you're getting into like more artistic, less saturation. And then when you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those are really like log profiles, which are very, very flat profiles that allow you to have the most amount of creativity. I like picture profile 7. And the reason why is because picture profile 7 gives you good contrast where you don't have to crush your blacks as much. And then you can still have fun with the color. Whereas like if I go to like S-Log 8 or S-Log 9, it's just mad crazy. It's really, really crazy. So that's something to think about in terms of, or I shouldn't say S-Log 8 or S-Log 9. I should say it's S-Log 3, and those are picture profile 8 and 9 and 10. Those are really, really tricky to grade, and it takes time to grade those. So again, this is just something I do. You don't have to do it this way, but I like doing it this way, and it's a lot more useful to me. Let me see the other questions here. Let me see here. So you are an S-Log 2 person. I am more an HLG 2. Yeah, I honestly, I find that HLG is just a little bit much for me, to be honest with you. To me, I don't like the color look on it, and it doesn't give me all the flexibility I want. So just letting you know about that. What's the other question here? We got Shirley. She says, I was wondering if you come with a team or your own, or on your own when you're filming. Great question. So I actually come with a team. So I no longer provide services without a team. Even if it's a small team, even if it's myself and just an assistant, I always come within a team with a team. Big up yourself. Big up yourself to those that are part of the Digital Storytellers Agency. We're really, really doing some cool stuff, some fun stuff. I would say to you that if you are looking for the sort of the full package from like pre-production, production, and post-production, and then delivery, we can do all those things. And it really just depends on budget in terms of like, how large and how much you want to do with regards to, the budget that you have, right? Because again, if you have a slender budget, then we can't necessarily have a full-fledged team like audio person, lighting technician, all that sort of stuff. But if we do have a good budget, then we can work within those means. What's the other question? Follow-up question. I have my own show I am working on and would need a camera person to film, edit, and to post to YouTube. Oh, dope. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hit me up. Definitely hit me up. I've produced several different live streaming shows, but then also several different YouTube and digital shows on different digital platforms. I did one called Will You Marry Me, which is kind of like it's kind of like a Black Love, but like it was just a different take. It was more like the definitive moment a man identified, his then wife or his husband as his husband or his wife and proposed, and why he proposed. Like, what was that definitive moment that made him propose? So, and that got like 2 or 3 seasons, and it got hundreds of thousands of views. So it's really, really dope. I would definitely encourage you to reach out, and then we can talk about how we can create that show for you, or elevate it, or do whatever you need to do with it. What is considered a proper budget in terms of dollar range? Well, again, it all depends on what you're looking to do. But if you're looking to create a show, and let's say it is it's a 10-minute a 10-minute episodic show and you want to make 10 episodes, you want to be looking at anywhere between, as a base point per show, a breakdown of per show, like I would say bare minimum would be about $2,500 to $3,000. That would be bare minimum, like scraping like the bones. And then upwards to 3, 4, 5 grand an episode, at least, if you're doing it from the standpoint of like an independent sort of thing. Generally speaking, I've worked with budgets of a couple $1,000 upwards to 20,000 an episode. But I mean, again, those are like more television, more episodic, more things to that nature. I just think that the bigger thing is like, don't think about it per episode, think about it per season, and think about it from the vantage point of, okay, if I want to spend $5,000 for a season of 10 episodes, then you basically divide that $5,000 by 10, and then you'll get your thing, which is $500, right, per episode, which is probably not realistic for many seasoned veterans that are filming and that are editing. But if you are looking for something that is like, it's going to be a little bit more higher end and polished, and there's a workflow, and it's well produced, and there's less chance of things falling through the cracks, then you do kind of get what you pay for, right? But it still comes down to your comfort level with the person, the person that's producing it with you, as well as a person that is competent, right? You want to make sure that the person that's there can actually provide you with solutions, and not just provide you with a whole bunch of budgets and say, okay, we need to spend more money, but like, how can you be creative with the budget that you have, and be really intentional about the type of show that you're creating, right? Because if you're producing a show, one of the things, you'll never meet a producer or a director that has enough money to produce the vision that they want to create, right? What you will find is people that will stretch the budget based upon the creativity that they have to manage and to produce and to create and write and all that other stuff. Mines will be based on per episode. Okay. Well, I would say if you're basing it per episode, then you got to think about, okay, how much time is it going to take to film? Is it going to be a half day shoot, full day shoot, 2-day shoot, 3-day shoot, 1 week shoot, right? Then after that, how long is it going to take? And even before shooting, like, are you asking the person that's going to be producing the show to also help out with pre-production? So the writing, the orchestrating of scheduling and the team and all that other stuff. That's one side of things, right? Pre-production meetings and all that other stuff. Then you have your production, right, side of things, which is like, I mean, production is usually where a lot of the money is spent, as well as post-production. Production can be sound people, can be lighting technicians, can be directors, cinematographers, all that sort of stuff. Even if you have a small team, you still want to have somebody that's just doing audio, somebody that's just doing filming, and ideally having a director or somebody that can direct and film. But then you need to have an assistant or a gaffer or somebody that can do the help with the lighting. Like, you need to have certain people in place to make sure that you have that consistency going for each and every episode. Then after that, who's going to be managing and organizing and editing all of that down to the 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour of a show that you're creating, right? All of that costs time and money and things to that nature. So that's something to think about as well. This is the next question. Can you help monetize the channel? I want, of course, to make money and to pay those that are involved. Definitely monetizing and marketing and making sure that eyeballs get to the channel is a part of what we do, right? And that's more of the pre-planning and then also post-planning. What kind of conversation are you trying to create with your audience, right? Because the type of content that you create will dictate the type of conversation that you're going to have with those parties and those individuals that you are targeting and that target audience. So again, it's not necessarily just about monetizing it from the standpoint of getting Google AdSense dollars. It's also monetizing it from the standpoint of like getting sponsors, positioning yourself as an expert, making sure that, you know, you got to spend a little bit of money to make money, meaning, you know, you got to spend some money on ads. Who's going to manage those ads? Who's going to do the tweaking to make sure that the eyeballs are getting to where it needs to get to, so then you can get the viewership. So then you can go to the sponsors, and then you can provide the data necessary to say to sponsors, hey, you should pay me $1,000 or $10,000 per episode or whatever else. So all of that is good stuff we can definitely talk about. I feel like with your lighting, will capture the true essence of my skin tone. Listen, let me big up yourself. Let me tell you something. I got a new product called the Brown Skin Lutz. I'm going to show you what I've been working on, and for those of you that know me and that have been following me on the channel, I've been pushing my new Lutz, and I've been pushing it shamelessly because I believe in it, and I believe that people of color have not always been well lit, and their skin has not popped all the time, and they have not been seen in their best light, pardon the pun. And a part of that has been, there's just been a lack of understanding. Everything that we see on TV in terms of lighting and how light is measured, and how we light a subject, and how we light a scene, and how we take photos and video and all that stuff, all of that was designed upon a ideal person which has lighter skin or white skin. It was never based upon darker skinned people. So all the film directors, all the cinematographers, all the people that are learning how to film, unless they've come from a really traditional background, or a background where, you know, they use a light meter and they're very scientific in their execution, they're all learning from the standpoint of lighting white skin tones, not black skin tones. So oftentimes you'll get on set, you won't have a black hairstylist that knows how to deal with black hair. You won't have a black makeup artist that knows how to deal with black skin. You won't have a person, a DP that knows how to light black skin. So then people of color don't look their best, and they don't look the best in their best light, I should say. So there's all of these sort of things. So I mean, again, one of the things that I would suggest, and I would encourage people to do, is if you want to be the best digital storytellers possible, you want to be a great content creator, really think about ways of being able to learn about how to light, how to do your audio well, all of those different fundamental skills, and make sure that you're learning the holistic nature of things, not just, I want to learn, you know, David Fincher's way of directing. Like, really understand directing. And then, you know, if that aligns with some of the people that you like, that's cool. But when you learn and you build that foundation, you'll be a better creator for it. Anyways, I'm going to show you this, and then we're gonna get going. All right, so let me go right here. Let me get out of this here. Can you guys hear me there? Perfect. I am going to close this down here. Perfect. And I am going to go back to here. So yeah, so those are my brown skin Lutz. And those are filters that I created just in the last few months, and those will help with skin tones and getting better skin tones. But I just wanted to let you know that I have run out of time. It's past 9 o'clock. I wanted to do this for about an hour. I want to just jump online, tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys. Shirley, please hit me up. Pavel, you already know what it is. Let's keep on going. Send me your questions for next week. I would love to answer some more questions about skin tones, about all of those different things, because I think they're really, really important. Cheryl, what are you saying here? Let me see what you're saying right here. Trust me, as a Toronto-based actor, we know all about those who cannot properly light our skin tone, yet they always tend to get the jobs instead of, yep, instead of other qualified people. I totally get it. I totally get it. Listen, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. I hope you guys are happy and healthy and you stay creative. Again, next week, same time, same bat channel, right here at 8 p.m. Send me your questions, DM me, email me, or WhatsApp me, whatever you want to do. And let's get those questions in so that we have more conversations around becoming better digital storytellers. Until the next time, have a wonderful and safe night. Peace.